If you execute your fights properly, you can win 99% of them. Since you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering what's causing you to lose fights. I will break it down for you with the best tips to improve and the key mistakes you need to avoid moving forward. Starting with the most basic but crucial mistake is your weapon choice. If you're consistently losing close range fights, it might be because you're using the wrong gun. You can't just jump into a close quarter fight with an AR and expect to outgun an SMG or a shotgun. It's just not going to happen in most cases. Now, if you have equipped an SMG or a shotgun, that's great. Well, only the first one is great. My advice, run some pro players builds. You can even find them in the game without needing to dig through YouTube tutorials. Once you have a solid loadout, here's my personal pick, either Uzi or Vector. Vector came back from the dead, and if you land your shots, it's insane. Uzi does slower fire rate but higher damage, and it shreds at medium range. I personally love it because I don't even have to swap to a long range weapon, I can just beam people with it. As for shotguns, nah, the origin is broken, but honestly, good movement counters it easily. Unless your opponent is cracked, then just pray they miss. Before we continue, I gotta give a huge shout out to these 3 legends for commenting the word movement on the latest video. If you want a shout out in the next one, stick around till the end to find out what the next secret word is. Now, let's talk about overcommitting, a classic mistake. You're not John Wick, so calm down. Most players in this game ignore their surroundings and just full send into fights. And when they die to a decent squad, boom, instant teammate blame. Here's something you may not realize. Most of the good players in this game have an ego. And if you don't, I respect you. But knowing all of them are full of self-confidence, they will always hunt you no matter what. And when 2 of those players meet, chaos. My point is, stop overcommitting. Don't push fights when you're low HP, outnumbered, or in a clear disadvantage. Yes, you might be better than your opponents, but even the worst players can punish dumb mistakes. I once ran squads with some friends, and this guy from a really good clan, I won't name it, kept landing back on his body while all of us were still there. Like, bro, what do you think we're gonna do? Let you pick your loadout and politely wait for you to fight back? So yeah, use your brain when executing fights. It helps a lot. Bad decision making leads straight to bad fights. Simple. Push based on damage. If you have cracked someone's shields or lit them up badly, that's when you engage. Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure there aren't a few other enemies lurking nearby, waiting to third party you the second you move in. Do not push fights before dealing damage first. Most of the time, that turns into a 50-50 fight or worse. A complete surprise attack against you. Know when to engage, check your surroundings, and position yourself smartly. Speaking of positioning, if you're up against a squad, do not pick all 4 of them at once. You will last about 0.2 seconds. Instead, observe their positions before engaging. Predict their movements, isolate your fights. I know fighting squads can be overwhelming, but here's the play. Position yourself properly, take out 1 or 2 players quickly, and reposition again. Their teammates will panic, and by the time they figure out where you are, you will already be lining up your next shot. Also, picker's advantage is real in this game. Use it. If they don't see you first, you're more likely to win. Simple. Comment fire emoji for a shoutout in the next video. Look, you might think your aim sucks, but if you can track enemies and actually land your shots, that's probably not the issue. It's your movement. If you're curious how movement impacts close range fights, check out my latest video where I break it down with tips to improve your movement and stop making costly mistakes. Abilities might not seem like a big deal in gunfights, but trust me, they are. Emma's healing drones. Super annoying but super useful. That constant healing lets you survive long enough to turn a losing fight around. Zero's knife. Free escape ticket. Nova's passive. Speed and fire rate boost. Instant advantage. You can see where I'm going with this. If you're not timing your abilities before engaging fights, you're missing out on huge advantages. I always recommend pushing when your ability is ready, because you can be sure your enemy will do the same. I hope this video helped at least a little bit, or at the very least made you realize some of the dumb mistakes you might be making. If you have any questions, drop a comment below and I will reply with a more in-depth explanation. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.